Alright, guys, what's up? It's been a long time since I posted in this particular group, in this seduction and dark arts one, and I have compiled a lot of things basically, okay, and I'm using it in my life and I'm doing good basically. So, and I was just, you know, thinking to just compile this particular stuff, and I tried my best to eliminate a lot of bullshit out of it and give you the most important parts instead. Like I have a lot of stuff to teach, but I just want you to take that 20% that is going to produce 80% results. The what do you call the half a dozen things that are going to produce a lot of results for you. So I have covered this particular, you can call it course or you can call it whatever you want to call it, okay? You can call it a lecture or maybe a program, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it depends on you. So I have structured this particular, course or whatever you want to call it in three sections, three master classes. The first one is your discipline, and the second one is your personal kaizen, and the third one is your identity, basically. Okay, and we will talk about shadow work and this kind of stuff. So these are going to be our modules, basically. Okay, and today is going to be about discipline, and you know, I think most people are going to face this particular kind of problem related to discipline. Okay, when they're starting out in any kind of biz. Okay, in any kind of biz or whatever thing they're starting, maybe it's academics for them. Okay, they want to do a lot of stuff, but they're just not able to do so. Okay, they procrastinate, and they fall into this upward and downward spiral of this vicious loop. And it's kind of, I mean, it mostly piss you off if if you're not able to understand why this loop is occurring, and why you're falling down, and why you're feeling stuck in particular situations. Okay, so okay, so till now what you have heard about discipline is like you have to push it through, like you know like there is a particular wall that you have to push through. Okay, let me draw some diagrams for you guys. Let's say this is you. Okay, this is your innocent ass. Okay, and when you want to do something, let's say this is your particular version. Okay, v2. Okay, and most people in this particular space is going to tell you that, okay, this is your current version and you are like shit as fuck. Okay, and you have to be the charred version of yourself, and to do that you have to break through it. Okay, you have to break through it, and this is going to give you a lot of pain. Okay, no pain, no discipline. And the thing is that shit is not true. Okay, because even if you push a lot, okay, you took their advice and you pushed a lot, what's going to happen is, after a point where you get really exhausted, you're going to fall really hard. Okay, and that's where the I mean, that's the only reason why you're stuck in a particular loop. Okay, like you try to quit everything. You try to quit everything, and most of the time you're going to, I mean, you're just bypassing, trying to bypass your mind. Okay, you're going against the flow of how your mind works instead of working with it, and then you push past through it, and you know, and then you, I mean, even if you push past through it, then the other side is going to push you back, and this cycle is going to repeat, and you're going to feel like you are in a really circular, vicious loop. Okay, and you'll feel like I mean, it's just going to feel like there is no way to get out of it. Okay, after trying almost anything, every courses and every this kind of stuff and all. And if you want to, you know, if you want to get rid of it, you have to understand a particular concept that I have created. I mean, it's already a particular concept in behavior science and psychology, and that is called your minimum viable stuff. Okay, I think so. That's what we call it. Okay, but let me give you my analogy of it. I call it the Thor hammer of shame. Okay, so what happens is when you try to improve, and this is your comfort mind. Okay, I mean this is your comfort zone or comfort mind. Okay, so what happens is this is your zone. Okay, and when you try to improve it, and what's going to happen is this Thor hammer. Okay, let's say 2 to 3 days have passed and you being really disciplined, you're not doing any bad habit, you're having your best days of mental health. And what's going to happen afterwards is you're going to get hit by Thor hammer of shame, and then you're going to go back again into this below baseline level where you're doing bad habits and all. Okay, and there was a lot of reasons why this happens. There can be some traumas. Okay, there can be some traumas or maybe thoughts or something happened to you. Most likely it's going to be some kind of negative emotions. Okay, negative emotion, or if it's not negative emotion, it's unprocessed feelings. Okay, like you don't know how to process this kind of feeling. For example, your high sexual energy and this kind of stuff. Okay, or you don't know how to handle these negative thoughts that's making you feel really bad. And there can be a lot of reasons. Okay, you get reminded of your past, and you know you just did something related to it, and then you know you got into a really bad cycle and all. Okay, uh, there can be a lot of reasons. Okay, and because of that, what happens is you just you know you just fall below your comfort baseline basically, and then you remain stuck for there. Okay, I'm just not talking about the habits. Okay, I'm also talking about your uh you know what do you call that, ho- like how you deal with the particular situations. Okay, what's your sense of self agency in particular situations? It also affected. Okay, I'm talking about the comfort zone. Basically, comfort zone is not a bad thing, by the way. It's just your brain mechanism of what's comfortable right now. Okay, what's normal for you right now. And this is also called homeostasis. Okay, homeostasis, like your current baseline of uh you know what you used to. And how it was built is it is built through your past thoughts, emotions, and actions. Okay, and after that, it just these three things, if it keeps on looping or it's keep on repeating, then it becomes a pattern. Okay, so that's how this whole structure work, and that's why you self-sabotage. Okay, so till now you just have to understand something, that whenever you are winning really big, what's going to happen is something is going to hit. Okay, something, most likely negative emotion 90% of time, and 10% it's going to be unprocessed emotion. You don't know how to process that particular emotion. For example, you took a really bad hit with failure, and you don't know how to deal with it. Okay, because no one there to teach you. There was no father figure, brother figure, or maybe mentor to teach you and all. And because of that, it usually happens. Okay, like people win really big and they fall into this you know uh, really bad loop, like where they started from, and it keeps on repeating and repeating. So the way I mean, we just have to focus on increasing this particular comfort baseline. Okay, and this comfort baseline is nothing but your identity. And now you know that how identity is formed. It is formed through your consistent thoughts, emotions, and action. I think there's a reason why law of attraction works, because it directly hits to your identity of who you are. Okay, and there's also a part of shadow work here where you address your unprocessed emotions from the past, and then you process it. And once it's processed, then when you use identity shifting, then there is going to be you know no reversal, no going to back. Okay, your brain is not going to resist going forward. It's not going to resist increasing your comfort zone, increasing your baseline of what's you're used to it. Okay, and that's how you're going to break the loop of this discipline thing. Okay, and that's what vicious loop is called. And if you want to break it, now you know that you have to change your thoughts, emotion, and actions repeatedly in order to change it. Okay, and we'll cover thoughts later on the identity section of this particular course or whatever you want to call it. Okay, and okay, a lot of people are interested in dating and kind of stuff here. Okay, so let me tell you something, that you're going to attract your partners, or you're going to attract the relationships. I'm just not talking about girls and all this stuff. I'm also talking about the kind of friends and business partner you will attract will depend upon your identity, like what your identity standards are, what your base comfort zone is. And if you have that strong identity, then what's going to happen is you're going to take your stance against which kind of people you want to take in on your circle, and which kind of people you have to reject it. Because you know most of the time the bad feelings and unprocessed feelings happens because you don't have a good identity, like especially in 20s. Because till 20s, whatever identity you have, okay, it was shaped by the previous conditioning of your friends, and what you have seen on media. You will think that media is whatever thing in media is your reality, and your parents and whatever beliefs you have. But after 20, what happened is you hit a short existential crisis, like who I am, and that's the starting of where you will start to shape your identity. Okay, so let's start. Let's start about actions. Okay, you have to understand something about action, that every actions, if done repeatedly, daily, and frequently, without less misses. Okay, that means you're not missing any day, and this kind of stuff. Uh, you're not losing your streak, and what's going to happen is you're going to build habit within 30 to 60 days. Okay, that's the that's the observation of how long it takes for a habit to build. Okay, and also there was another factor, like people usually don't talk about, like if you look at any courses and books, they're not going to talk about this. Or I don't know why, but you know they just fill their books with bullshit and courses with their bullshit. That is emotion. Okay, remember I have talked about this, how your identity is formed, your consistent thoughts that you have think on in your past, the emotions and the actions you took. And people will also ask about what about the fuck up I did, okay, fuck ups I did on a past, and how it affects me, and kind of stuff. And uh, what about this bad stuff that happened in the past? It's because I mean, it's also connected to your action. Like you don't have that particular sense of agency or control at that time, and because of not having the control and not having the skills of what you have to do at that moment, that emotions remain unprocessed. Okay, and your brain is not your enemy, by the way. Okay, uh, what do you call that? Okay, the main function of your brain is to save you, keep you safe. Okay, uh, I mean, the main function of your brain is to keep you safe, keep you, keep your growth in a consistent manner, so that you don't, mutate because of the evolution. Okay, no, I'm also talking about the mental evolution. I mean, just think about it. What will happen if you get, you know, have you ever seen the movie Lucy? I don't think anyone has, seen the movie Lucy. Okay, what happens? I mean, there was a particular scene where, they plug that chip, and she get like all kind of information in this world and kind of stuff. Uh, just think about it. If that thing happened to you, okay, your brain is going to explode, right? And you're going to freak out and all. So the way God made our brain progressive is because, I mean, it just don't want you to, I mean, you don't want your brain to explode, right? So there was always a good intention in our brain or psychology, for whatever things happen to us. Okay, so I mean, just take it as something that it is just built to evolve you in a good manner, so you don't so your brain doesn't blast and kind of stuff. So now you know that anything that is done frequently and with emotion, okay, how are you going to generate emotion and all? So the way you're going to generate emotion is by thinking. You have to practice something called the law of attraction. People will call it like bullshit and this thing doesn't work and all. But in my opinion, it works. Fundamentally, kind of neuroscience has evidences of why law of attraction work. Okay, so I mean, it just works. Okay, you can call it placebo, whatever you want to call it, but it just works. Okay, if something is working for you, you not even give a fuck about that, if that thing is valid or not. And I think we have seen people really getting some good success with law of attraction. Like Connor, you know a lot of sport people, especially in MMA, usually do law of attraction and all, and traders usually do it. Okay, and they make big out of it. So first, you do some particular actions continuously. You know you use law of attraction to change your thinking patterns and feel new kind of emotions. Okay. Also, not just law of attraction. There are all. I mean, there are new. I mean, there are also. I mean, variety of ways to trigger emotion, like meeting new people. I will talk about in the attention section. And if I don't get any response, like I'm not going to complete this particular course and all. So just let me know. Like this thing is helping you and all. Otherwise, I'll just you know leave it behind and do something else. Okay. So any new experiences, okay, meeting new friends, visiting new places, then you know, uh, learning new things, learning new skill, okay, learning new skills, simply behaving in a really new way, okay. This thing are also going to produce emotions, okay, and I think you should do it if you have time. Like if you have time, then learn new kind of hobbies that are really different from what you're doing right now, because it's going to, I mean, it's going to be good. Like, believe me, it's going to be good. Okay. And okay, there was another thing that is like I procrastinate while starting anything. Okay, like I want to take action, but I procrastinate. Procrastinate in a lot of things. And if you want to get rid of it, it's really simple, by the way. Okay, I call it the War Phoenix habit. Why War Phoenix habit? Is because there was a particular myth I have heard from somewhere. I don't know it's real or not, but after every war, there was saying that some phoenix pass through the sky, and after that, this uh, the scars that the war left behind is going to get healed by the phoenix flame that drops on the ground, and after that, that forest and stuff, or this kind of thing is going to grow, and you don't have to believe it and all. It's a mythological shit. I think it's just a metaphor of growth after you know growth after something really bad happens to something. Okay. And I mean, the way you're going to practice it is through something called this 20-second rule. Like whatever you want to build habit in it, make sure like it's accessible to you under 20 seconds, and what you want to break it, make sure it's not accessible to you under 20 seconds. I don't do anything but make sure whatever you want to learn is available to you under 20 seconds. Okay, then it's going to build habits by itself. And how it's going to build habit by itself, so you have to do something that is called starting step. Okay, if you want to learn new skill, you can't learn everything at once, otherwise you're going to fall back again. Because of that, comfort zone is not extended. Okay, we have to focus more on extending our baseline comfort zone instead of just getting out of comfort zone and all. Okay, and we have to do it really slowly so that our brain doesn't freak out. Okay, so you have to do, I mean, you have to pick a really small step. Okay, you have to pick a really small step, and you know and in the whole day make sure you're thinking and doing this law of attraction stuff. Okay, so that you can generate new emotion. And also I would recommend you to take it as motivation ritual that you do before starting any, I mean, before, just immediately you do it before your habit every time, so that you can get motivated and reflect your progress of what you have made today, so that the process become rewarding by itself. Okay, it's just simple, you know simple reframes to be made, so that your brain start natural dopamine. Okay, natural pleasure, so that you get that feeling of leveling up. Okay, I think that's the only reward that is natural. Okay, that feeling of leveling up. Okay, so there are two type of dopamine. Okay, the first one is tonic and the second one is phasic. Okay, and what this kind of I mean, what this two kind of dopamine do is, the tonic one is your baseline dopamine, like in your day, like what's your base motivation, and phasic one is the spikes that you face after watching something really cool and all. Okay, maybe motivational video and kind of stuff. And the thing is, most people focus on increasing your tonic dopamine through dopamine detox and all, but the thing is, you need more frequent phasic dopamine. Okay, that the spikes of really getting high and motivation. So the way you're going to do is by starting really small. Okay, before that, visualize it, do law of attraction. Okay, just immediately before starting that really small habit. Okay, just don't focus on just don't focus on increasing the bar at first. Just first start being consistent in this small thing. Okay, don't overload it for maybe 2 to 3 months, and you're going to see magic afterwards. Okay, you're going to build a really good self trust by doing that. Okay, and even in bad habits too. Okay, so maybe you start with lowering the frequency of your bad habit, and then you stick with it for 2 to 3 months, and then you increase the bar, and then you do it for 2 3 months, and you're going to build self trust with it. Okay, what we are doing here is not some weird discipline shit. we are we are going for actual permanent changes in our life. So make sure that we are not pushing ourselves too hard at once. Okay, so you know you start with really easy one, and you continue it until until you are 100% sure that it's a habit. Right now it's really automatic. I'm doing it without me thinking about that habit. Okay, any kind of skills. Okay, just make sure that you know uh you have laid out the you have set it out your environment where the thing you want to do is available under 20 seconds. Okay, like you can do it under 20 seconds. It can be anything. Okay, I mean, that doesn't mean that you can't push further, but uh you must have a minimum viable one, so that you don't fall behind and keep on missing days and all. Like you can still go to gym for like 1 hour and work for like 2 hours in morning, but you know you should have that minimum baseline too, so that something can you know something can give you a symbolism that you are a new person right now. Okay, like I mean, there was a particular phenomenon like people who do tattoos and all. Okay, the people who do tattoos and all, uh, they usually do tattoos because of not them being cool. Okay, not to show them they're cool, but most likely that is because of that symbolism of this is my new identity right now, because the tattoo is the most obvious thing at that moment. So so that they get reminded of like they are a new person right now. Okay, you can do it if you want, but you know what I think is the behaviors that you do daily must reflect that you are a new person right now. Okay. And the way you're going to increase your phase dopamine is by starting small and completing it. Okay, so that you can feel that sense of progress and short dopamine highs. Okay. And you know also you're visualizing and you're doing this kind of law of attraction stuff, then it's going to work really well. And the third thing is you have to use your instincts. Okay. How you're going to use instinct by asking what's the next step. Okay, what's the next clear step, and just do it under 1 second. Okay, the moment you get answer of what's the next step, just do it under 1 second. Don't overthink about it. Okay. It is only going to work if you have first did these twos. Okay. And once you have did these two stuff, and then it's going to work by itself. Okay. So that's the only thing you have to do in order to you know get rid of procrastination and get discipline in all. Okay. And another type of resistance you are going to face is psychological resistance. And I'm not going to cover it. Okay, because it's a big thing. Okay, I will talk a little bit about an identity section, but it's something that you need some kind of therapist or maybe experienced practitioner. Okay, because you have to do in-depth analysis of why you are stuck and why you're not climbing the and why you are not climbing the mountain. Do you think that the mountain has nothing, or you just think that it's just meaningless and all? So you know you have to do something with it. I do teach this stuff in a mentorship and do analysis and all. If you want to join it, you can. I mean, if you can pay, and if you think, I mean, you actually need it, then of course you can shoot a DM to my you know inbox too. Okay, but in case of psychological procrastination, I would especially recommend you to go to therapist and all. Okay, so that you can understand yourself better. And there are going to be a lot of you know there can be a lot of different reasons. There can be symbolism and this kind of stuff. So that's why it's kind of weird. But most of the time, your problem is going to solved by this particular shit. Okay. I think it's clear for you now, right now. Okay. Then I think that's it for right now. Okay. Make sure that you are using it and let me know that you are using it and you know it's helping you guys. Otherwise, I'm just going to uh leave this series and all. Okay.